Hi, this is Ursula Renee, back with episode 4 of How Deliverance Became My Ministry. So we left off, and I was telling you about we were headed to a luncheon with my supervisor in the car. I wonder if I was driving. You know what? I had a Hummer, so I think I could have been driving. Now that I think about it, I was driving. Kim, we're calling her Kim, the other new hire who's a young black girl. We're the two new hires. So I'm driving. The supervisor gets in my car. Kim, the other new hire, and then there's the older black lady who was already a part of the group. Now I have to paint for you the insurance company it wasn't an insurance company, but the finance company that I work with. Many of these people had worked together at another company. So all 3 of the other people in the car with me, they actually had worked at the other company that had been around and that was now defunct. Somebody bought them out. It didn't exist anymore. So they all knew of each other from the prior company. I didn't know them. So I'm driving while the supervisor is giddy telling us about the new man she met, what he has planned for the weekend, for her family, for her friends, to, send them on a spa treatment via a limousine, but they're having a party at the house. And then she just casually says, and you guys, you ought to come. Okay. Well, we've been working there. Well, I've been working there about a month, and we're not particularly close. But I'm driving. So the other 4 people who are already at the restaurant, like setting things up since it's the supervisor's birthday. So anyway, as we're driving, and the supervisor's giddy, Kim starts telling, personal things about herself. And it felt forced. It felt like, okay, I'm new to this team. I really want to fit in. And so this is the opportunity to do so. And so we're hearing at this point, that's how I know she had 2 kids. Obviously, she had 2 her fathers for her kids, and she now had a boyfriend. And that, normally she dates light-skinned men, but her boyfriend was not what she normally dated. I just know that from her saying it, right? I still remember that. So we get to the restaurant, and now it's the whole group. And so it's just regular banter. Again, the supervisor's giddy. It's her birthday. Why wouldn't she be? So she's telling us, she's like more personal information, and it is what it is. So when we're back in the group and the rest of the team moves and we're all in the same tower, we're all in the same department, we all have our desk, everybody has joined me in this tower. I just noticed Kim still a little extra with the personal conversation. Like she's trying to fit in. And part of in trying to fit in, it was telling more information than what we needed. And then it happened. I don't think we had been there 2 months. Like 2 weeks after that birthday celebration, she actually goes. Not 2 weeks after, but I'm saying for the birthday celebration where the supervisor is saying, I'm having something at the house. My boyfriend is throwing me this at the house. Why don't you guys come? I don't go. Kim goes. Of course, the older lady doesn't go. I don't go because I don't feel like I'm not going to fake it and we're not that close. So I opt not to go. But Kim does go. She invites her boyfriend. She goes. She's going all out to fit in. And sometimes you do that in a workplace. I chose not to. It would work to my advantage. So I'm going to tell you probably 2 weeks after all this celebration, but no more than 2 months after we've been there in this department, after I've been there, a couple things happened. There was a lady who worked there, and she's Caucasian. She knew them from the other company. She's the person who, when I wasn't being trained, the first week I saw I wasn't being trained, I wasn't learning anything. I came in and I asked, can I didn't ask the older black lady. She kept her head down like I don't want no trouble. So I didn't ask her. But there was this mature white lady that I asked if I could shadow her. And she's like, okay. And so what little I did learn, And it was sufficient to get me started. I learned from her. I remember she took vacation. And she came back from her vacation. And while she was gone, it was customary for them to like complain about someone's work. And so it was like, I can't believe she did this. And this doesn't look right. And she wasn't back yet. So then when she comes back, they're like going in on her about her work. And I remember she stopped by my desk and she said, I just put in my 2-week notice. I don't have to take this shit. I talked to my husband and he said, she said, I wanted to finish paying off my house first, but I talked to my husband and he said it was okay for me I could leave. What do I say? Like, I'm new. It's been less than 2 months. I was like, okay. So one person in the group before her, at her last day of the 2-week notice, I was like, okay, I'm planning to take her to lunch. Do you want to go? And I was like, of course. We're the only 2 people who went to lunch with this woman. She had worked for this company. Now, she knew them from the prior company, but she had worked for this company 6 years. They didn't, like, we go to lunch together. It's just the 2 of us. Like, she just met me, right? But I was appreciative that she helped me when I needed it. So, of course, I'm going. But they didn't try to wish her well, nothing. And they knew her. They had been knowing her a long time. And I just remember thinking, okay, that's a little strange. I remember at the end of her 2-week, the end of that day, she came over and said, she was like, I'm headed out. And I was like, okay, well, it's great. I walked to help walk her out and wished her the best. And it was quiet in the department. And as soon as she left, then they were back talking again. And I was thinking they didn't tell her bye or wish her well. And they had known this lady. That was one of the first incidents. And I was like, that's tacky, but okay. I didn't think, look, I have no divine revelation and I'm just like, okay. But stay tuned for the second part of this particular story, but it's actually episode 5 of how Deliverance became my ministry.